that's their focal point, especially in their 20s. I don't think women are going out and trying to establish careers in their 30s.
But okay, so one, the statistics said 51% of women are childless that are 30 and over. Why is that? Why? I'm going to tell you, for one, in your 20s, you do a lot of fucking up. You do a lot of fucking up. You do a lot of running around. The women who do end up with a children, it is not planned. It is not something they wanted to do. I'm not saying they regret their children now, but it's not something she planned. In your 30s, if you are lucky enough to make it to your 30s without a child, you now have a little money. You should be done fucking up paper. Excuse my French. You've been through the ain't ish men, so to speak. You kind of know what you want. You kind of know what it takes to raise a child, how much it really costs, what goes into it, and you also understand balance, right? For the level-headed women, I don't really want to get too much into the women that don't got too much going for themselves. I don't want to spend too much time on them. I want to spend time on the women that do got something going for themselves. In your 30s, if you haven't had a child yet, you're more focused on that I can provide. I have something to offer my child now. I've had experiences in life. I have stability, hopefully, and I have experience. So now I know I'm gonna have a baby. Even if my baby daddy's here or not, I'm financially capable to care for a child.
And that's the problem. The problem is the mindset and the ideology that's going behind it. I mean, if your baby daddy is here or not is part of the issue and why women are having no children in their 20s, because they're not making any type of realistic decisions that's supposed to be beneficial for their future. They want to wait till they get to their 30s based on the stats. And the stat is a newer stat. The stat is a stat from today's time. The stat is not if we compare it to late 90s, maybe the 80s, et cetera, you're going to see that there's a big difference and fluctuation in that number. So when you have the real thought process is, you said that women want to make sure that they're doing a lot of messing up. They're making a lot of poor decisions in their 20s, so they're not having kids. And they also are probably going to be more suited financially when they're 30. He said, Jordan Peterson stated that one of the biggest lies is that women are told that their career matters the most. So in the process of their 20s, when they're making their mistakes, they're still focusing on acquiring money, right? And the thing is, if you really look at it, now this is something that I took the time to do myself. And I literally added up and looked up every single, out of all, I think it's 175, 150 countries, right? Approximately in this world, 256 countries or something like that in this world.
I could fact check.
Yeah, there's a couple hundred countries in this world, right? And you just look at all the average ages that women are getting married.
Mm-hmm.
America and Europe are amongst the oldest. Europe, I believe, was like 28 or 29.
Mm-hmm.
And America was around 30, 31.
195 countries.
Rico,
195.
You have a daughter now, right?
Mhm.
And
In my 20s.
in your
I had her in my 20s.
you had her in you had her in your 20s.
I had her in my 20s.
Right. So, do you believe?
And I actually planned my daughter. I
one of not many that plan kids. Okay.
Well, I mean, I honestly, I would say I manifested it because I always said I would have a kid by 28, and it happened. But prior to it happening, I already, like with my girl, we already planned to have a kid. I want to say my daughter, but have a kid, literally 6 months before she got pregnant.
And that what that looks like is you guys preparing for certain things that you think you can't really be prepared when it comes to a kid, but you try to be as prepared as possible. So the fact that you planned the kid